What's up, guys? Keenan here with MyFreedomSmokes.com, back with the Profile Unity from Wotofo. This thing is pretty freaking beautiful, especially on that old lava box there. I got that matte black with the red Delrin. In front of me here, there's actually a stainless with that like purple blue Delrin, which I actually had an issue earlier and broke glass by dropping it on the concrete. So that's the one I'm using today, but we're gonna go ahead and demonstrate this one. This thing is awesome. It's sleek, it's cool, it's actually pretty tiny. It's a 25 millimeter in diameter. It looks good. I mean, it definitely is awesome for a mesh RTA. And again, unlike the first Profile, which is a squonk RDA, this one is not a squonk, which I was like wondering when it first came in. I was like, is this gonna squonk? That would be kind of crazy. But we'll get into those top refill details here in a second. So let's get inside the box and see what you guys get. All right, inside the box, you're gonna get your Profile Unity RTA. That clearly only comes with one, as well as a user manual, Japanese cotton, which is 2 shoelaces. They actually give you pretty thick pieces there. They give you rings and things and a couple additions to install that bigger milliliter in glass. It actually comes with 3.5 mil glass, as seen in this one, and then I actually have the 5 mil maximum capacity glass installed now, which that little piece right here inside the package will actually screw right on in there, and it goes straight onto the chamber. So you get extra screws. Those are very useful. They do give you a mesh tool, which I actually found very useful to use with the mesh coils that they give you in here. I'm trying to get that out, and of course your user manual. You can't forget that. That's important. It actually gives you, it shows you how to use that little mesh tool. But you literally take the mesh on this thing and you wrap it right around the fatter end here, and it creates a perfect like crescent to where you can literally just drop it. That little pin on the build deck, as you'll see, it actually pushes downward. And honestly, I'm actually going to open this up and kind of show you what I'm talking about with that. But you do get that mesh coil. It's a 0.13, good for 60 to 75 watts. I'm actually running 70 watts right now on this lava. Great flavor. It's amazing flavor. And it definitely, like, it's a mouth to lung, and you do get that feel for it. But I am running it wide open like usual, and again, right out of the box, this thing was great. However, let's get into the specs of this thing really quick. First off, I want to go to the build deck before anything else. Take that spare glass out. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this build deck for you. So that comes off the bottom. There's your build deck. So on the build deck, you do have the you're going to have those, Phillips head screws on each side, which are kind of like the first Profile. But if you look at the actual right down in here where that pin is, it actually pushes down. So even if I take this little screwdriver, I can show you. So when you put that mesh, when you take this thing right here and you go to lay your, you wrap your mesh around and you lay this on here and you press down, it'll set right in there perfectly, and you can just slide that thing right out, tighten your screws, and you're good to go. This thing definitely helps you smooth out that to be that perfect crescent shape. That's a very, very easy mesh build deck. It does have the kind of where you can tuck your cotton on each side, and it also, in the user manual, which I literally built it right out of the user manual. It tells you how to cut that cotton to get kind of the perfect angle to slide that right down in there, and it seems to work pretty ideal for exactly what they were going for. That being said, that is an extremely easy build deck. I'll put that back together. Again, you do get that 3.5 mil, which is on this stainless one here. You get that 3.5 mil glass, and then your replacement's the 5, which is what's on my black one here. So it makes it a little taller, not by much, just literally just a fraction of a hair taller. But let's go ahead and get into the airflow. So the airflow is, it has a 5-point close off. It's basically just like any other mouth to lung, in my opinion. However, the wide open setting on this thing is actually fairly good. It's definitely a harder pull because that's what they're going for. And when I close that off, let's close that off to about 3 and see if I can get a good. great mouth to lung. So that's, and the flavor is phenomenal in that. It is a mesh coil, so you know it's going to be great. Getting into a little bit further detail on that, the airflow is chambered kind of on the inside. I might even have to take this off here just to show you the inside of that and how that works. It goes right up. It doesn't seem to have any leaking issues. I haven't had a leaking problem. There's a little bit of juice residue that dripped off the side, but that was because when I was priming it, I was overly priming it and really just basically forcing juice out of the airflow side of it. But however, since then it hasn't had any problem. And once you get a little bit of juice on that, that also makes your airflow ring easier to control, in my opinion. And then getting into the filling. The filling, this is one of those RTAs, just like the Zeus that I have here. This thing, this one's it's brand new out of the box. It's a little stuck, but there you go. So it's a locking mechanism, just like, I really like those designs though. Unlike in a sub tank where you have that little push button on the Falcon, this comes completely off. It is not threaded though. It is a locking mech, so you literally kind of find the notch there just like that, pull that in, and you're locked in, and it's not going anywhere. And I actually really love that design. Some people, that's an opinion, but I really do love that design. Super easy to fill. They give you quite a bit of room to drop juice down into that little well there. Let me get this back open. This one's brand new, so it's a little cool. So as you can see, they did it. This is awesome because they actually have that little ditch in there too as well. So if you took juice with your bigger bottles or whatever, and even if you drip it not where the holes are, it's still going to make its way down in there. And I love those designs instead of it just being flat. So that's another cool factor about that. Now, this thing, in my opinion, is for the flavor. It is definitely a throat, mouth to lung. It's not really necessarily for clouds. However, don't put it past the cloud factor because you're going to get one. Check this out. That's big enough for me. I mean, it really is. And you're going to get that awesome flavor with that, but you're going to get a harder, tougher pull, which I think for many people that are going for that flavor factor is really what they're looking for in the first place. This thing was well designed. It's pretty sturdy. I've dropped it a couple of times on accident. Like I said, I broke that first glass, but this one I actually slipped out of my hands, and this one did not break, but on the concrete, so I can say it's pretty durable. However, don't drop it on the concrete because you might do the exact same thing and break both glass. That being said, I definitely recommend this to anyone to add to a collection that is into sub-ohm tanks, RTAs or RDAs, just because you're getting great flavor, you're getting the vapor production that everybody wants. And if you are one of those guys that likes the mouth to lung hits, this is perfect because if you close that off, you're getting a pretty retained pull on that. Overall, no leaking. Again, this thing I'm gonna put it right at an 8.5. I like it a lot. I think it's a little too tall in my opinion. And it does have, I wish that they bored out, now that Delrin drip tip on the top of this one, as you can see, the hole is not bored out super huge, so I just would like I like a little bit more of a bored drip tip, but however, this thing is sick. I mean, it is sick. So you guys, my name's Keenan. This is the Profile Unity RTA by Wotofo. You guys keep vaping.